Every organ in your body depends on an invisible network that works every second of your life. Your brain, your heart, your muscles, even something as small as a paper cut healing on your finger, all rely on healthy blood vessels carrying oxygen and nutrients where they're needed most. But what happens when blood vessels become damaged? And what if a tiny peptide first discovered in the stomach could help protect them? Think of your blood vessels as a nationwide highway system. Instead of carrying cars, they transport oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and immune cells to nearly every cell in your body, while carrying away waste products. When those highways become damaged, traffic slows. Cells receive less oxygen, tissue heals more slowly, and organs cannot function as efficiently. Because blood vessels are connected to nearly every part of the body, scientists spent decades searching for ways to better protect them from injury. A research team, led by Dr. Ozan Gamulin, a biophysicist working alongside pharmacologists including Dr. Predrag Skrkic and colleagues at the University of Zagreb School of Medicine, Croatia. Their study, published in Biomedicines in 2022, investigated the question of whether BPC 157, a small peptide naturally found in the stomach tissue, helps protect blood vessels from the earliest stages of cellular damage. Instead of simply asking whether BPC 157 works, the researchers wanted to understand what was happening inside the cells themselves. To answer that question, the researchers conducted their research on rats because animal models allow scientists to safely investigate biological processes before testing on humans. One group of rats received BPC 157, while another received a simple saline solution for comparison. The researchers then collected samples from the animal's aortas, the largest artery in the body, and examined them using a technique called Frontier Transformed Infrared Spectroscopy, or FTIR for short. Although the name sounds complicated, the idea is simple. Every molecule absorbs infrared light in its own unique way, almost like leaving behind a fingerprint. By comparing those molecular fingerprints, scientists can detect tiny changes in proteins and fats that would otherwise be invisible to the naked eye, revealing whether a cell appears healthy or are starting to break down. When the researchers compared the two groups, they found something fascinating. The blood vessels from the untreated rats showed molecular fingerprints that scientists often associate with oxidative stress and the earliest stages of cell death. The proteins inside the cells had begun changing shape, and the lipids, the molecule that makes up the cell membrane, also showed signs of damage. Together, these changes suggested that the blood vessels were beginning to lose their normal structure and function. The BPC 157 treated samples looked very different. Instead of showing those same warning signs, their proteins maintained a more stable structure, and the molecular signals linked to early cell death were greatly reduced. In other words, the cells appeared to remain healthier under the experimental conditions. The researchers concluded that BPC 157 may help protect blood vessels by preserving both their protein structure and the integrity of their cell membranes, allowing the tissue to better withstand stress. These findings don't prove that BPC 157 is a treatment for disease, but they do provide new evidence that may have cytoprotective or cell-protecting effects in blood vessels. This research gives scientists an important clue about how this peptide might work and why it deserves even further research. The reason why studies like this matter is because healthy blood vessels are essential for delivering oxygen and nutrients throughout the body. When they're damaged, recovery becomes much more difficult. This is why blood vessel health plays a role in conditions like heart attacks, where blood flow to the heart is blocked, strokes, where blood flow to the brain is interrupted, and diabetic wounds, which often heal very slowly. For researchers, these findings provide new clues about how blood vessels respond to injury. For patients, this research offers hope that scientists are continuing to search for better treatments for conditions where blood vessel damage plays a major role, such as heart attacks, diabetic ulcers, and injuries that take a long time to heal. However, it's important to remember that this study was conducted only in rats. Much more research, including careful controlled human clinical trials, is needed before BPC 157 could ever be considered as a treatment for people.